Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is gonna be a vlog style video, but it's all gonna be book related. I've been wanting to do this video for the longest time and I think I'm gonna start doing them more often. Now that I've kind of strayed away from book centered videos, I still want to be able to like talk about books in a way that feels like authentic to me, in a way that I enjoy. And I've like kind of struggled with how I wanted to do that, because like doing sit down book recommendations is not really, I mean I still do want to do some, I have some planned. I feel like doing sit down book recommendations is not exactly what I love doing anymore. It was stressing me out to read that many books, but I still obviously love reading. I read every single day without fail. I love reading. It's my favorite hobby and the one thing that I'm really passionate about. And obviously my whole entire social media is just me talking about the things I'm passionate about and then showing you my life. So it feels weird to like not make book-centered videos. But I do film vlogs almost weekly and I talk about books within those videos, but I feel like maybe that's not everyone's style. No, not everyone cares about my life, and that's totally fine. So I want to start doing more videos like this, which is just going to be like a week of all the book related stuff that I do. So a vlog would be the separate stuff, so like the fun things I'm doing with my friends, my morning routine, my night routine, things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. And then at that same time I'm filming that video, I'm also filming all the book related stuff, and then I put them in two separate videos. So that's what this is. It's going to be everything that I do that's book related over the next week or so, like whatever I feel like filming. I decided to start this right now because I'm about to go book shopping. My book club on Patreon just voted on the book club book of the month, which is Love in Other Words. I love my book club so much. It's so important to me. If you miss the book content, you could go on there and there's a book for every single month. But anyway, I'm gonna go book shopping. I'm so excited to reread Love in Other Words. I already have that book, but then I want to read the book that came in second place. So we're gonna go find that book because I also want to read that in October because it's like spookier vibes. I think just from the covers, what I'm assuming. So I want to go buy that book. And also I want to talk to you guys about all the books I've been reading, and then I'm going to talk to you about all the books that I'm going to read throughout this week. I've been reading so much, like I'm back on my shit, like I'm me again. Like I've been reading so much ever since I got my Kindle, so I thought this video was like perfect timing to start doing this because I've just been reading like a book every 2 days, like how I used to years ago. And then I have so many books I want to talk about. Annotate with me, book haul. I've ordered a bunch of books off Amazon and used this video as an excuse. So as those get delivered, we'll be doing unboxings, and then yeah, this is gonna be everything book related. Like I'm gonna read with you. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but we'll read together a little bit. I'll keep you updated. I'll do recommendation style if I recommend the books that I read throughout this video. I just want to talk about books. That's what this whole video is gonna be. It's gonna be like days in my life, but only the book related stuff. If you want to watch book related stuff, then let's spend the week together. Putting my shoes on right now because like I said, first thing we're gonna do is go to the bookstore. I feel like I do order most of my books online because it's just so much more affordable, but I love the act of book shopping. So where are my car keys? So we are gonna still go to the store and we are gonna buy a book today, and I'm gonna use this video as an excuse. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm enabling myself to buy more books. I almost forgot to bring my extra limb with me. I've been bringing my Kindle with me everywhere I go, and I've become a literal iPad kid with it. Like I pull it out everywhere. If I have 2 minutes of quiet, I'm reading. And it has been so helpful to me. Like I don't know why I didn't buy a Kindle sooner. I'm literally now the biggest Kindle stan because oh my god, it is so nice just to like bring everywhere. It's so convenient. Like I've been literally having it on me like an extra appendage. Like I cannot go anywhere without it. So I'm bringing that so that maybe we go to the bookstore, and then after that we can go maybe sit down by the water and read, and we'll talk about my current read, and we'll talk about, we have so much to talk about. I'm so excited to do this video. You don't even understand. I feel like me again. Oh, it's so fall out here. Okay, I just left the bookstore. We only have like one little bookstore in the immediate downtown area. Actually, there's two, but one of them has like nothing. And the one I went to did not have the book I wanted. I want to get One Dark Window, but I got a special edition of Beach Read because it was too pretty to not get, so I bought it. And then I also almost bought the After 10-Year edition, but I didn't. I should have, but I didn't. Guys, I was literally sitting here reading. I'm on my bench right by the water, and as you can hear, they just started landscaping as soon as I went to go film. There's like a lawnmower, leaf blower, something going off, but I've been sitting here. It's so nice out. There's nobody around me. besides the landscapers. What I'm currently reading, I'll talk about more later, like when I finish it, but I just started the first book. It's called Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. It's the first book in a series. I just randomly picked it up because I had it on my shelf and it looked like a cute fluffy romance from the cover, but I'm discovering that it's a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. I've never read from this author, but I've been reading reviews and I guess all her books follow a very similar system. I'm going to explain later because this lawnmower leaf blower thing is throwing me off, so I gotta go. Just got home. I was sweating my ass off walking around and I'm really sad I couldn't get the One Dark Window book, but I guess I'll just order it. I am really happy with my Goodreads purchase though. Look at the edges, they're so cool, and the inside, and then the back has a quote on it. When the world felt dark and scary, love could whisk you off to go dancing, laughter could take some of the pain away, beauty could punch holes in your fear. I think this is an unpopular opinion because I know it's called beach read, but I think beach read is such a fall book. Like, it takes place at a lake house, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't even take place in the summer. I don't remember, actually. I could be wrong. But it gives me immense fall vibes, so I really do want to reread it at some point this fall, but I have so many books planned for this fall that, like, I'm a little bit overwhelmed already, and fall is, like, we're already a month in. Not really, but, like, I need to get back on my fall TBR. I'm so happy with this. I need to, like, put it on display. Beautiful. But yeah, I'm gonna have to order that book, but I think right now I'm gonna take a shower because I was sweating my ass off downtown, and then I want to reorganize my bookshelf. I do think some of my books are getting delivered today. I want to read, so yeah, just see where the day takes us. I didn't really film me talking or anything, but I was trying to show you I made a tea after my shower and I was reading on my Kindle, and then like 2 hours later I was eating my dinner and I was reading on my Kindle. I was literally reading as I was chopping the vegetables for my dinner. Okay, you're looking in my mirror right now because I'm about to get ready, and I thought we can talk about the books that I've been reading. I'm getting ready right now to go into town because we're gonna go annotate these books, or we're gonna annotate these two, and I'm gonna like kind of show you my annotation process. But I want to go into town and sit at a cafe. That's what I usually do. But these are the books that inspired me to make this video right now. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I read these two books over the last week, and I wish I would have started this video before I started these books because this was 5 stars and this one was like 4.5. This is a romantasy. Honestly, I feel like it was like a lot of fantasy compared to like Powerless. I feel like there was more fantasy elements. And then this is small town country romance. Elsie Silver does those best. So I wanted to like talk about them while I get ready to go into town. We're gonna annotate. And then this is the book I started yesterday and I'm already almost done. I feel like while I get ready, we can just like kind of talk about them. Thought that could be fun. I won't spoil anything, but I read Heartless Hunter first, and I've been wanting to read this for the longest time. I've had it on my TBR. I just put it off and put it off because for fantasies, for some reason, I feel like I have to be like locked in, and it has to be like the perfect moment to read a book, and like I have to have enough time to read it in like a day or two because they're just so action packed and I don't want to forget anything. So I've been putting that one off, and I'm so annoyed that I did because it was so good, but I also at the same time wish, since I already waited so long, I wish maybe I would have just waited until the second book was out because it ended on such a cliffhanger. Not even a cliffhanger like in the moment, but just like the plot is so up in the air that I have no idea what's gonna happen, which obviously that means it was a great book and I can't wait to read the second one. But basically the book was about this girl named Rune. She happens to be a witch, and in this fantasy world, witches are hunted because in the past there was like an uprising and it's like normal people versus the witches kind of thing. She's a witch, but she has to keep it a secret because if they find out, they'll kill her. And they killed her grandmother in the beginning of the book. Like we saw a flashback. Then Rune has these 2 best friends. One of them is named Alex. He's a boy. And it's obvious that Alex is in love with her, but she does not feel the same way towards him. I forget what her girl best friend's name is. Oh, Verity. Her name is Verity. So Alex and Verity are her 2 best friends. They're both not witches. They're just regular people. But they're the only 2 people that know that Rune is a witch, and they like promise to keep her secret, and they're loyal to her, and they help her throughout the book. Then Alex's brother, his older brother, is a witch hunter. You know where this is gonna go. He's a witch hunter. He hates witches more than anyone in the entire country. Like he's #1 witch hater, #1 witch hunter. Like he's known for it. The plot of this book is basically Rune is trying to figure out where the government or the witch hunters are hiding this one witch that was friends with her grandma. Basically, her grandma's like final message to her was to find this witch. So she decides to befriend the brother Gideon, who is the #1 witch hunter, because he knows where this witch is hidden. Nobody knows where there's a witch. She's trying to befriend him. He's super, super grumpy. Does not want to be friends with her, doesn't want anything to do with her, to be honest. But then it's dual point of view, so you get to see his perspective, and like he low-key does like her, but like he doesn't want to admit it. So she's trying to use him to access this witch, and then he's trying to use her because he has an inkling that she is a witch. There's basically this one really powerful witch, and it is Rune, but nobody knows it's her. They're both trying to use each other, and they end up falling in love, but they're keeping so many secrets from each other, obviously. So they're both like not genuinely together because they're keeping so much from each other, but it's so suspenseful. It's so good. The whole time you're like, oh my god, when are they gonna find out? Like, this is giving me anxiety because you're in both of their perspectives. Like, you know everything and they don't know anything, and you're like, oh my god, who's gonna tell them? When are they gonna find out? Like, you're just on the edge of your seat the entire time, which I absolutely loved, even though it does give me anxiety. Like, I had so much fun reading it. There's like drama between the brothers because obviously the one brother has been in love with her, and then now she's going for the older brother, and I'll go back and forth with that. I really just need the second book so bad because of the way it ended and like all the lies. I literally couldn't keep up, but I just had so much fun reading it. I literally read it within like 2 days, and I just couldn't put it down. And I was telling Kylie, she probably got annoyed with me. I was telling her like every day, I was like, this book is so good. This book is so good. Like, I can't stop reading it, whatever. The only reason I'm giving it 4.5 instead of a 5 star is just because like I'm a romance girly at heart, and I wanted a little more of the romance aspect and like a little more. There was soft moments, but I wanted like more. And then the ending really threw me. Like, the whole ending sequence, like the last few chapters, like I was really like, wait, what? That's like not how I wanted it to go. I'm scared for the next book. Like, I really didn't expect how the characters felt was going to be how they felt. Like, I just didn't see that coming at all. So that's the only reason it wasn't 5 stars, but I definitely loved it, and I can't wait for the second one to come out. So yeah, that was the first book I read. I absolutely loved it, and I was like, oh my god, I need a book that is just incredibly good. I've remembered that Elsie Silver came out with Wild Eyes, which is a new book. I did read Wild Love. It's part of a series. You definitely do not have to read the whole series, though. I feel like they're so not disconnected because obviously the characters are intertwined, but you don't need to know anything about the previous books to like read Wild Eyes. So I started reading Wild Eyes, and I've been looking forward to it since I read Wild Love because they kind of hinted at the couple. It's One of Us' famous trope. She's like a mega super pop star, and he is a small town single dad. You know I'm gonna eat that trope up every single time. And so she gets into town because there's a recording studio in their small town, kind of like, it reminds me of like folklore Long Pond studio sessions. Like, that's what it reminds me of. Like, there's like a little recording studio. She's going there. She's escaping her really toxic management and family, and she's trying to break away and do her own thing. If you like Heartless by Elsie Silver, trust me when I say you will love Wild Eyes. Like, Cade Eaton is my favorite out of all the men, but Weston, he's up there with him. Like, I can't believe I'm even saying that because I never thought anyone would compare out of the Elsie Silver men, but he is so up there. He's so protective and just like so good. Like, this is just like my dream romance. Like, everything I love in a romance book was tied up with a bow and put in that book. Like, the pining, the tension, it was like slow burn enough, but also like no real miscommunication between them, and oh, it was just so good, and I loved it. I loved it so much that I read it in, again, 2 days, and that's when I started this video because I was like, I'm back on my reading shit. Like, I can finally feel comfortable making a reading video knowing that I've actually been reading. So those are the 2 books that I read right before filming this that I feel like I had to talk about. And then Fragile Sanctuary, which I started yesterday on my Kindle. Also really good, but in a different way. It's not like, I don't know, I'm just interested by it. Based on the cover, look at the cover. You would never guess that this book is like true crime, mystery, FBI, love interest. Like, the guy in this book was in the behavioral analysis unit, which if you've watched Criminal Minds, you know, and he's now escaping that because he has someone who like hyper fixated on him. He was working on a case, and then one of the criminals hyper fixated on him and was like trying to ruin his life, and he ran away to this small town where his best friend from college lives. It's like found family trope. It's also brother's best friend trope. So someone is out to get his best friend's little sister. Someone is like hunting her down too, and like she keeps having these crazy occurrences that have happened to her, and like he's trying to figure it out, but he also doesn't want anyone to know that he's ex-FBI because he doesn't want the person that's stalking him to find him. And it's like this whole like suspenseful thing going on right now, and a romance between them two. It's more of like a protective thing. Like, at first he was just doing it to like kind of protect her, and then he's super grumpy and she's super sunshine, and I just love that dynamic so much, and it's done really well. I've never read a book by this author, but I said early in the video, like, I've been seeing a lot of reviews saying her books are all very similar, and I can see the trope that they mean, like kind of like the girl's in danger, the guy saves her. But I kind of like that trope. Maybe not over and over again, but right now, since this is only the first book I've read by her, I like am really into it. It's kind of predictable, but I'll keep you guys updated. It's more of a suspenseful romance. If you read it reminds me of, what is that series, the Eden Brothers or the Eden Family series by Devney Perry. It's reminding me of that because it's giving small town but also with a murder mystery kind of aspect in it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna finish that tonight, to be honest. I'm literally almost done already, so I'll update you how I feel about it and how I rate it and stuff once I finish. But yeah, those are all the books I've been reading. I didn't mean to talk that much. Now I'm gonna finish getting ready and getting dressed, and we'll head into town and I'll annotate with you and show you how I do my annotations. So I actually read Heartless Hunter and Wild Eyes both on my Kindle just because it's so convenient, even though I had both of these physical copies. So all my annotations and highlights and stuff were on my Kindle, so I thought I would just transfer them over into my paperbacks just because that's what I love doing. I love taking pictures of quotes. I love seeing them physically in my book. So I'm sitting at this cafe, going through my Kindle, pulling up my annotations, and then flipping through the book and highlighting, underlining, starring whatever quotes that I loved while I was reading. I really have no method to annotations. Like, people always ask me. I feel like really what I do is I underline and pen longer quotes that I love, but they're just longer sentences. I'll underline those. I mainly highlight if it's just one sentence. If there's a long quote that I really love and there's a short quote within that I love, I'll highlight the shorter part and then underline the rest of it. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's kind of my method to annotations. It's totally just like personal preference. I don't try to make it aesthetic or anything. That's not really what I'm worried about. I just like love seeing my writing in my books. So that's what I was doing, just transferring it all into my physical copies. I'm so excited right now. First, I'm gonna open this one because I know what it is. Actually, I don't know exactly what's in that box. This book I just read on my Kindle. I read it on Kindle Unlimited. I was just looking for like a fun, easy, Wattpad-esque book that I could just read in one sitting. And that's exactly what this was. It's called Waking Olivia by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I just found it on Kindle Unlimited and I ate it up. I mean, it wasn't perfect. Like, I think I would probably give it like 3.75 stars, but I read it in one sitting and that's what I wanted. I end up buying every book I read on Kindle Unlimited anyway. I just like owning them, okay? It's a hobby to collect books for me. That's the first one I got. I did maybe use this video as an excuse to finally order some series that I've been wanting to order for the longest time but haven't because they're expensive. So this is probably one of them because I think 2 of them will be coming today. Either one that's in this box is very exciting. It's a box inside of a box. Oh, I can read on what it is, yeah. Probably the most iconic book series of all time. And you're probably like, how do you not already own this? And I do, but it's at my parents' house. Like, my family growing up shared a series set. And of course, now that I'm in a new house, I wanted my own set of Harry Potter. Yay! I was gonna buy special editions, but I decided to go for the old traditional ones. This is the same set I had growing up, and I vividly remember my mom would sit with me at night, and I remember specifically her reading the first Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, to me before bed every night. And I can remember, for some reason I just remember the vivid scene, like the first scene when McGonagall turns into the cat, or goes from the cat into the person. And I remember my mom reading it to me and being like, what? Because I didn't know what these books were about, and that was the first time I knew there was magic in them. And then I reread this book during COVID. I haven't reread any of them, but I think that would be really fun to do. So those are the books that I ordered. Right now, what I have to get done, I have my laptop, but you're resting on my laptop right now, is I'm going to finish Daydream. I have this much left. This is the book club book for my Patreon. If you didn't know, I have 1 book per month on Patreon where I update and I do a video for every single chapter. So if you want to join, it's linked below as always. But this month, you guys on Patreon voted for Daydream, and so I've been reading that over there, and I have, I think, like 5 chapters left. So I'm gonna finish reading this right now. I'm gonna film my videos for Patreon. Yeah, I'll be done with this book, which I'm very excited to finish it, to be done. I liked it, but if you want my full thoughts, you can go over to Patreon. I usually film these videos on my phone, just because I upload them immediately after filming. So yeah, this would probably take me 30 minutes to finish, maybe a little bit longer because I'm talking and updating, but that's the task I need to get done right now. Task I need to get done, aka me finishing a good book. Like, that's not really a task, but okay, besties, I'm back. I'm ready to finish Daydream. I'm really excited because we're at the game. We're at the game that I've been waiting for the entire book. Chapter 34 in Hallie's point of view. It's finally the game where Henry's playing against Will. And I've been looking forward to this since the very beginning, you know it. I low-key think I might finish the book in this update, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm just gonna read, keep you updated as usual, and hopefully finish. Wait, I totally forgot that we left off at Will showing up at our house with his family and her family. The things he's saying about her and Henry are so disgusting. I hate him. Okay, I just finished Daydream. I'm not gonna give my full thoughts or anything yet because I haven't made my discussion video, but I'm editing and uploading that right now on my phone. I'm just gonna upload all these clips that I just took. There's so many of them. It's probably gonna be like a 30-minute video because that actually took me way longer than I thought because I just read the third act breakup and the ending, so like I had a lot to say. But I'm glad I got that done. There's 62 clips. I think at some point in this video I'm gonna talk about this book because it was crazy. It was kind of fucking crazy. Okay, another book task that I'm gonna do right now is, I love the way that this looks, the TV stand or whatever this is called. I love how that turned out in terms of like where the books are all facing. I've been going in and out of these shelves so they feel a lot more like lived in, I guess, which is the vibe I was going for. But I also think over time this is gonna change as I collect like more decor that matches the vibes of the house that I want to go for. I think I'll probably swap out some books for like a vase or something, I don't know. So like these I feel like are just gonna grow and evolve and change over time with like however much the house is lived in. But I want to rearrange this unit. I really have hated these shelves since we moved in, and I've said it since the move-in video. Not the way they look. Like, I think the books are good. I just hate the actual shelving unit. I think it looks like so random here. I don't know why I hate it so much, but I've been trying to like find a way to like make myself like it. Sorry, I'm trying to put you on a candle. I think I just hate it because it's just like stuck on the wall, and it looks kind of, I always describe it as, looks like IKEA Legos. Like, it looks like kind of like just cheaply stuck on the wall, these like weird cubes, and I don't love it. So I've been trying to like decide what I want to do, and so I added this bench down here, and I decided I'm going to fill this bench with books too, like how these are stacked up. Like, it's just going to be covered eventually over time, but right now it just doesn't look good. And also I feel like too many of the books are facing backwards, and I want to switch some of them around. So I think I'm going to do that right now, and I'm just going to go in and turn a bunch of the books around because I want it to look a little bit more chaotic instead of all backwards. Okay, I didn't realize my camera died while I was doing that, but I wanted to show you guys the finished shelf, for now at least. I feel like I made it a lot more crowded over here, which is what I wanted, and I think over time I'm gonna start, I put flowers there, I had to open space that I didn't know what to do with. I was gonna put my Harry Potter books there, but I want to fill up this bench too, so I'm just gonna, over time, everything's gonna get moved around, but I feel like it just looks better visually now. Let me back up, like this part at least. That's what that looks like now. I feel like this whole part looks just so much better. So yeah, I just stuck a plant there. I don't think that that's gonna stay or that's gonna stay. I just put that there for now. Then I sit out Love in Other Words because that's our book club book on Patreon. Good morning, everyone. I just made a coffee. I'm about to start getting ready to film my wrap-up discussion video for Patreon for Daydream. Basically, I do chapter update videos for every single chapter, and then at the end of the month, there's a post that'll be like, put all your thoughts, favorite quotes, character analysis, everything you can in the comments, and I film a full wrap-up video where I give all my final thoughts and ratings, and then I read through everyone in the book club's thoughts, ratings, etc. We have a conversation discussion on that video. So that's what I'm gonna film right now. I'm gonna get it a little bit presentable for that. While I get ready, I wanna talk to you because I finished Fragile Sanctuary this morning. I read until like midnight last night, and then I woke up this morning and finished the last 2 chapters. I'm out of breath. Why am I talking so much? I gave this book 4 stars. I'm definitely gonna read the rest of this series. I thought it was so like, not high stakes, but like the energy was just so good. Like, I love a romance that has a subplot of like something suspenseful, and I think that's why I've been like kind of in my romantasy era recently because I love when there's like high stakes things going on, like kind of life or death situations, things like that. I honestly find myself really enjoying those kind of books. So I can't see anything because I don't have my glasses on. Maybe I should put contacts on. I kind of want to wear my glasses today because I'm just not going to really be able to see what I'm doing. I thought it was so entertaining. It was definitely something you could read quickly. I love the found family. I'm very excited for the rest of the series. I love that they hinted at a bunch of the couples. It wasn't like my all-time favorite book, so that's why it's like not 5 stars, but I did think it was like great and I definitely recommend it. In like a synopsis form, I feel like I might have already kind of explained it, but he's ex-FBI and he's had someone who's hyper-fixated on him. And then it's brother's best friend trope. She also has someone who's like leaving her these like weird things are showing up at her house. Her family's house was actually set on fire when she was young. They all rolled it as like an electrical accident, but then they're starting to like second guess it as all these weird things are happening, and just it's kind of, you're the whole time you're like, who is doing this and like what is going on? Towards the end, which is what I read last night, and then I had to stop because I knew I was about to find out too much, and I let myself finish it this morning when I could fully pay attention and I wasn't like about to fall asleep because like so much started happening. The person got unveiled and it was just like, I feel like she set it up so you would believe it was one person and then threw it for a loop like it was someone else that I wasn't expecting. And I was like, wait, what the hell is going on? And they hinted at the couple of the next book, and the next book is out, so I'm probably gonna read it. It's called Delicate Escape and it's about her brother. I'll let you guys know as I read this series. I probably won't read it back to back because I really want to read, I have one more Elsie Silver book to read. It's called A False Start. It's the last book in Gold Rush Ranch, and it's the only book I haven't read by her, and she's like one of my favorite authors ever, you guys know, because now that I've read Wild Eyes, I'm like, okay, I need to read A False Start. And I heard that it's age gap, brother's best friend, and I love a tasteful age gap, so I'm very excited to see if that's what it is, because I trust Elsie Silver with stuff like that, because she did give me Kate and Willow, so I have high hopes for it. So I'm gonna start that today probably after I finish filming because I have like free time today. Oh, I also want to talk to you guys about Waking Olivia. That was the other book that I got that I read on Kindle Unlimited like before I started Heartless Hunter. I was reading at the same time as Daydream because Daydream I was doing for book club, and then I was reading Waking Olivia like when I wasn't filming. I never heard anyone talk about it and I low-key ate it up. Like I did give it like 3.5 or 3.75 stars because it was so cliche, but it was just a random book, like I said, I found on Kindle Unlimited, and I read it literally in one sitting. Like I could not put it down. It was age gap. He's the track coach. It's not an age gap. I think they were only 4 or 5 years apart, but he was her coach, so it was like forbidden in that way because she does track. She is a really like kind of dark backstory. Sorry, I have to get close to the camera because I cannot see what I'm doing right now. She kind of has a really dark and like sad backstory that causes her to have these extreme nightmares. She ends up like injuring herself, like she sleepwalks, like runs, like gets lost in her sleep, like it's kind of crazy, like very Wattpad-y. And her coach notices that she's just like not doing her best. He notices like that she has like cuts on her, like on her legs from like when she's running in her sleep. So he starts getting intrigued by her, but like he's super grumpy, but they both are. What I liked about this book was it was different in the way that both of them were so closed off and so mean, not mean, but like kind of mean and grumpy. Both of them were that way, that they just like both hated each other at first, but then like over time, like you could just tell how much he cared about her and he just wanted to take care of her, and he was trying to disguise it as like, I'm your coach, I want you to do well, but really it was like, you want her. She's in college and he's like 26, I think. So it's not like a dramatic age gap. It's just the fact that he's her coach that made it like forbidden. And I actually really loved it. If you just need something like kind of cheesy and quick, it wasn't even cheesy, that's not even how I would explain it, but more like cliche, like predictable. But basically the coach is like determined to help her because he can tell how much she's struggling like mentally, and it's affecting her running, and she's supposed to like projected to be like the best runner in the entire country. She's so fast, but she's like self-sabotaging. So he like offers her to live with his mom and like all this stuff, and the tension between them was everything. There were so many jealousy scenes. Like there was just that moment of tension. Like he's been, since it's forbidden, like he's like, I can't be with her, I can't be with her, I can't be with her. And then there was just like that fuck it moment. I love that shit so much. I was eating this book up. It wasn't like literature, but if you need like good, entertaining romance like that, then I definitely recommend it. I'm probably gonna read more from that author, to be honest. Like anytime I feel myself getting in a slump, like I'm just gonna pull out one of her books, because that was like the quickest, easiest. It literally felt like when I was reading it, the same feeling I would get when I would stay up till 8 a.m. reading Wattpad stories in like 7th grade. If you miss that feeling of just like it doesn't have to be the best book you've ever read, but like it's keeping you on your toes, and like the tension between them is so good, the romance is so good. Like that's how I felt. And I love characters with the tragic backstory. I love kind of like the guy helping the girl trope. The way he just like didn't want to admit that he cared about her, but you could just tell. And I loved that she formed a relationship with his mom. And then there was like scenes where the coach's brother would come in and try to like make him jealous to like instigate a relationship between them, and it was so funny, and I loved that. And I just really love forbidden romances, I think. So if you have recommendations for forbidden romances, please let me know, because that just sparked something in me that I didn't realize I was missing, and I think I need some more forbidden but not too like taboo. I don't love like teacher student, I don't love that. I more mean like age gap, but like tasteful age gap, or like brother's best friend and the brother doesn't want them together, like stuff like that where they feel like they can't be together and there's tension. The angst was everything I ever needed. But yeah, I'm gonna film now. I need my glasses, can't see a thing. I'm gonna go film now my wrap up for Daydream and post that on Patreon. If you're in the book club, go watch the discussion video. And we're reading Love and Other Words for October, so if you want to join, you can head over to Patreon. I wanted to come on here and do the final discussion video for Daydream. Every time I get to these videos, I'm like, what more do I have to say, since I didn't update for every single chapter? But then I always come up with more to say, because I do have more to say right now. I have actually a lot to say. I have 5 main bullet points that I wanted to discuss. I'm about to go to this little park area that has like benches and grass and stuff where I love to read, and I'm gonna sit there and read for a little bit because I have free time this morning. It's kind of gloomy out though, so I hope it doesn't rain on me. I'm gonna get a coffee, I'm gonna sit in the park, I'm gonna read. I brought my book. Got all the goods on me. I'm probably gonna end up going to a cafe to edit afterwards too. So I have my books, my computer, a jacket in case it gets cold. Doubt it will, but we're ready to go. Hello, I'm back now. I just read False Start for a little bit. I'm like, I don't know how far in because I'm reading the paperback, but I think I'm like probably 25% in. I love it so far. I'll talk about that in a second, because I just got home and there was a package at my door and I know what it is because I already opened the other one and I have to get into it right now. I know you guys are about to be so happy that I'm reading this, or that I got this. I got the entire, it's upside down, Throne of Glass series box set. I think this is the entire thing. I honestly have no idea, and I know the reading order is like really confusing, so if you could recommend me the reading order that you think is best, that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm gonna read this probably in the winter or the new year, because I'm gonna read ACOTAR first, probably late November, early December. I will be making a video about it, but I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek because I did finally order this. I have all the ACOTAR books. I've had them since probably for like 6 years. Like I've had them for the longest time. I know that people like prefer this one, so that makes me excited because I love when I have a lot of books to look forward to and I'm in a big series mood. Once I'm done with like all these standalones that I have, I'm very excited to get into this. So I had to do the big order and get all of them. That is a really beautiful stack of books, if I do say so myself. Hello, I made a tea. I'm editing right now. Thought I would update you. I can't wait to crawl into bed later and read more of A False Start. It's so good. I feel like Elsie Silver's writing just improves with each book I read from her, because, well, I'm thinking chronologically, because I've read now, this is the last book I haven't read by her, and now I'm finishing her entire backlist. So I feel like as the Gold Rush Ranch series went on, I could see her writing improving, and like the last one is definitely my favorite and I think the best written out of all of them. And then obviously next comes Chestnut Springs, which I think you can just tell how much she improved from Gold Rush Ranch to Chestnut Springs, because Chestnut Springs is like my favorite series of all time, my favorite interconnected standalones of all time. Now I'm reading the Rose Hill Ranch, I think it's called, or Rose Hill, I don't remember what it's called, but the new series with Wild Love and Wild Eyes, and I think it's so good that I just feel like she's just getting better and better and better. Reading her original work last, I'm like, damn, like she's really improved. Like these are still good, but like they're more like 3-4 star books, whereas all the rest of hers are 5 stars to me. So it's just like, I love her. Like she's definitely one of my top art like authors and like must buy, and now I've read her entire backlist. I'm so excited to finish this book. Like I low-key feel like I might finish it tonight. If we get in bed and we pull a Kindle out, there's no stopping me. Okay, I just crawled in bed to read again. I did switch to reading on my Kindle. I'm still reading A False Start, but I switched over just because it's so nice to be able to like get in bed in any position. Like I'm about to be like this. And like with a physical copy of a book, you have to be like holding it a certain way. But this, I can just lay here for hours. I don't even have my phone. My phone's like somewhere down there. I don't even know. I'm in my own little world. Gonna go hallucinate now. Bye. Hello everyone. It's actually the next day. It's like midday now. And I wanted to come on here and tell you that I finished A False Start by Elsie Silver. I read last night, probably to like 75%. And then throughout today, I've been reading it on my Kindle and I just finished. So I wanted to come update you and give you my final thoughts. I think I'd give this one 4 stars. I think it was definitely my favorite in the series. Like maybe I get 4.25. Definitely my favorite in the Gold Rush Ranch series. And I think this one is like, it was so obvious that she was ready to write Chestnut Springs from this book. Like this book could have been part of Chestnut Springs and it would, like, people would have ate it up. It was, I kind of explained it I feel like already, but it was age gap, brother's best friend, but I loved it so much. It was like kind of different than anything I've read. The first chapter is them meeting at a bar. I think it was 2 years prior to when this book takes place, and they like kissed one time and then they never forgot each other. Then 2 years go by. She's working at the veterinarian clinic. She's 20, I think, 20 years old, and he's like 35. No, I think she was 20 in the first scene, so she was probably 22 at the vet clinic, and he's like in his mid-30s. He obviously had no idea who she was. He'd never met her before, and then he sees her at the vet clinic and meets her again and realizes it's his best friend's little sister, and he is super quiet, and you like don't know how to perceive him at first. Like I thought he was like standoffish and mean and grumpy, but then you find out he actually has like a tragic backstory. He used to be a professional football player and then he got injured, and he actually has a traumatic brain injury. And I've never read that kind of storyline before. And then she has a history of being from a very abusive family. She now lives with her brother, who is best friends with the male love interest. And they live on a ranch. He works on the horse farm. He kind of has a house away in the mountains where he like does his own thing. It's Grumpy Sunshine. I just loved this book so much. And I feel like it just made me want to reread Chestnut Springs now. Like I don't want to leave this universe. If you didn't know, this series is connected to Chestnut Springs because one of the love interests is the boys from Chestnut Springs' sister. Violet Eaton actually has a book in this series, and that's how it's connected. So I'm really happy that I finished that. Next up in my never-ending list of books to read is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I have already read this, but book club on Patreon picked this for our October book, so I'm just gonna dive right into it. I'm gonna be posting chapter updates like I do for every book club book. My book club is honestly like, it takes up so much of my time, and it's like one of my main priorities, and I love doing it so much. That's why I feel like I've talked about it so much, because most of the book related things I do are in relation to my book club. So yeah, this is gonna be our next book, and I'm so excited because I haven't read this since 2020, I think. Like it's been a really long time, and I genuinely forget every major plot point besides like the plot twist and like the ending and stuff. So I'm so excited to like read this again because I gave it 5 stars back in the day when I read it when I was probably like 18 or something. So yeah, if you want to reread with us, you can go join on Patreon. I'm gonna probably end this video here, I think, because it's been a few days. I feel like I've talked a lot. I've talked about a lot of different books now. I have like the stack right here of all the books I've been talking about, and now this one too. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of style of video. If you want to follow me on my other social medias, they're linked down below as always, as well as my Goodreads and my Patreon, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!